and gentlemen, once again, it's the 10 count. We're in the city of Santa Monica in Hollywood Smoke. Steve Kim, joined by Michael Baca and the editor-in-chief of Ring Magazine, Doug Fischer. Doug, I'm going to start off with you because I know you take the most heat.
I welcome it.
Yes, this is just going to be an extension of the mailbag. Last week on Facebook Live, UCN, Tom Loeffler revealed that the Canelo Golovkin talks will be tabled. Basically, the fight will take place, hopefully, fall of 2017, and then Saul Alvarez, it was announced by Golden Boy on Friday, will take on Liam Smith. Your thoughts?
A bit of a buzzkill, but not really shocking. It wasn't really a shocking revelation, and great job, by the way, interviewing our good friend Tom. What struck me is Tom Loeffler, who's basically the promoter of Gennady Golovkin, took it more in stride than thousands of Twitter fans. There was a lot of fan rage over both announcements, and I can understand it. Fans want it now. They want every big fight now, whether it's that fight's time or not. And they feel that they've been strung along by Golden Boy Promotions and Canelo Alvarez, and they're resentful to Alvarez because after he knocked out Amir Khan, just on May 7, not that long ago, he called Gennady Golovkin into the ring. They kind of had like made a big show of stating in front of his public that he's not afraid of Gennady Golovkin. The fight will happen, and that Mexicans, and I'm paraphrasing here, don't mess around, don't F around, right?
Yes.
So strong words, so people expect strong actions to follow strong words, but that hasn't happened. But like I said, not totally unexpected, in particular because of the lawsuit court case with All-Star Boxing. I think that really kind of got in the way of a realistic timeline to really hash out all the details for a huge event, which is what Canelo Golovkin would be, even this year. However, I'm okay with it for now. I believe that Canelo will be more ready to fight Golovkin next year, and I think it's a bigger event next year. But the timeline is now officially on to where I'm giving Golden Boy Promotions and Canelo Alvarez the benefit of the doubt based on their recent history. And I do think Canelo's a guy with honor. But if the fight doesn't happen next year, I think grace period, it's over.
No, it's on Canelo. I mean? Well, first
of
all, we now have a firm deadline, whether it's a verbal agreement or one on contract. It's a deadline. As Paul Tagliabue would say during the NFL draft, Golden Boy, you're on the clock. But with that said, Mike, two questions to you. Number one, did the Canelo F around statement that he made, did that backfire on him? And number two, are you a little bit dismayed the way I am that they're talking fall of 2017 and not Cinco de Mayo?
Absolutely. I think they probably regret that little diatribe he had with bringing Triple G in the ring and, saying Mexicans don't fuck around, and it's all hogwash now. Saying that and pushing this fight back to a date that nobody expected, nor did they want. And now that he's fighting Liam Smith, I mean, I disagree with
the fact that that's at 154.
Yeah, Doug, that's the other issue.
I disagree with Doug. I'm not okay with it, simply because that fight does nothing for Canelo to get ready for Triple G.
Right, that's the other issue. Two things Canelo said that will now be held against him in the court of law or public opinion.
Public opinion.
Yes. Number one, he said belts mean nothing. That's fine. He's bigger than the belt, but now he's going for a junior middleweight belt. So that's my issue. He's going down in weight. If you're building yourself up to 60, shouldn't you be fighting at 55, 56, 57, not going back? And you said it yourself. 54 may not be physically ideal for him at this stage.
I don't think so. That's my opinion, is that he would actually be a better fighter if he allowed himself to weigh more than 155 pounds, which he hasn't done yet. The weight that he gains after the weigh-in seems to suggest that he can carry 159, 160 pounds well. But we haven't seen him test that out against a legitimate middleweight contender or even fringe contender. I think they want to prove to themselves maybe, or prove to the public, that he really is a junior middleweight. And by definition, I mean he can make 154 pounds the night before a junior middleweight title bout. But what I don't like about the Liam fight, And I like beefy. I think Smith is a legitimate 154-pound contender. I don't really care that he has a belt or not. I think he has a entertaining style that should mesh well in the ring with Canelo Alvarez. But what I don't like about this fight is if they beat Smith, which they are expected to do, and he now has the WBO 154-pound title, he now has the option of just saying, no, you know what? I felt real good tonight. I feel comfortable making 154. I'm just going to stay at junior middleweight. So as Ring Magazine, representing Ring Magazine, it's like that puts us in a position like, okay, do we vacate the belt or not? You're either a middleweight or you're not. So that puts us in that precarious position. But it also gives them an out as far as fighting
but Doug,
Triple G.
There's a reality, though.
Yeah.
The other 54-pound belt holders are all on the other side of the street.
Yeah.
Unlike
Right.
Bob Arum, there's no truce. There's
Right,
no
you're talking
peace
about the Charlo
I'm talking about the
twins.
Charlos,
And
Arizlande
Andrade
Lara.
as well?
And
Andrade.
Demetrius Andrade's kind of on the Showtime
Right.
side of the street. So
Right.
he's not really eligible, and quite frankly, they don't want that fight either stylistically.
Difficult fight, yeah.
But I'll say this about Liam Smith, who holds a WBO title. Mike, I spoke to Freddie Roach, who's had him over at the gym, the Gallagher. He brings his whole crew over there every
Right.
summer, the Fighting Smith family. He says to me, he says, Steve, this is not an easy fight for Canelo. This kid can fight. He's pretty tough. There is a game of jeopardy here. You lose or even look bad, I do think you damage the brand and the value of the Golovkin fight.
Yeah, kind of a lose-lose situation because nobody knows of Liam Smith here, regardless of maybe hardcore fans do,
And that's it.
but not the casual fan. And you want to build this Golovkin fight up if you really want to make it happen. And like I said again, Smith does nothing for us when preparing for Triple G.
This will be a litmus test for Canelo's pay-per-view power. This is an
Well, that's
HBO
another issue.
pay-per-view
That's another
event.
issue.
It's not on regular
Yeah.
HBO,
Hold on.
so he's not. Now listen, Canelo surprised me years ago when he won his first title. He fought a British guy. He fought Ricky Hatton's brother, Matthew Hatton. And he sold, this is tickets though, 13,000 tickets in
at the
Anaheim.
Pond. Yeah.
Right.
Well, Doug, that's the other thing, and I read your
Can he do
mailbag.
it? But can he do this with pay-per-view buys against a total unknown quantity
Doug,
in the U.S.?
This is not the Gallup poll, but Twitter, social media, your mailbag. You get a gauge of the temperature of the fans. And I've always said, you fans have a say in this. Just don't support an event.
Yeah.
And the worse these events do, the more leverage it forces Golden Boy to come to the table by saying, wait a minute, they're getting diminishing returns. But Doug, based on what you've read, and you don't print every email, is there going to be a Canelo cut in September?
You know what? I don't think so. There will be some. Yeah. There will be some. It's just there's no buzz for this fight. This is the second time in a row where Canelo is in a pay-per-view event against somebody that nobody ever really conceived of Canelo fighting. I think fans, after some initial outrage, gave Amir Khan a pass because Amir Khan is a lot better known than Liam Smith. He's fought here. He's got a name here, even though he's a naturally smaller guy. And B, there was the promise of the Golovkin fight happening immediately after Amir Khan. So they said, okay, Canelo, here's your gimme. Here's your soft first title defense. After this, you're going to take the Triple G challenge. Since that didn't happen, I think their patience has already run out. Hardcore fight fans have zero patience. They want everything now. Whether or not it's necessarily the right thing for one or both fighters, or whether or not it's necessarily the right time for the event. That's just the way it is.
As I like to say more and more, when you do pay-per-views of this nature, my mantra now is good luck with that. Well, that's it for this edition of the 10 Count. On behalf of Doug Fischer and Michael Baca, this is Steve Kim saying, till the next round, goodbye, everybody.